And oh, there we go. We are live. Hello, hello. We are live from the Hive. It is Saturday night here in Illinois. It is Sunday afternoon on the opposite
Yep.
side of the globe. I have Planner Walk here, and I've actually messed up the schedule, but we did still manage. We're still going to manage to squeeze an hour out of our good friend's time here. For those of you, the people in my audience who don't know who you are, want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, ahoy hoy, I'm Planarwalk, and I make YouTube videos usually debunking conspiracy theories or mostly flat Earth, to be honest. I've also talked about uh, transphobes, like Matt Walsh, Matt Powell, a lot of people named Matt.
Yeah,
Uh,
those dirty
and
gnats.
Yeah, I mean, there was raw. At least raw Matt wasn't that bad. Although, given the name Raw Matt, it'd be. I know he's a Christian, but like it'd be very, very surprising to find out that he's a homophobe or transphobe. So
I will say that I know he was not. He said some pretty awful stuff about Bill Ludlow after he passed away. About him passing away, that was pretty gross. Bill Ludlow was an American science communicator on YouTube in 2019. He did a debate with like Kent Hovind and stuff, but the one he was like one of the first people to do a YouTube debate with Kent Hovind on the non sequitur show. And Raw Matt had some nasty things to say about him after he passed away. It's like, why would you wait until someone's dead to say things like that about him? But
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I don't know. You were on. Were you on was it the non sequitur show that you were on a couple weeks ago?
yeah, and unfortunately, at the time, my internet wasn't doing too well because I was uh, in between places. So like the room that I was in was like probably the first away from the internet, and there were
Mm-hmm.
so many things that I wanted to push back on, but like I couldn't hear what they were saying, and even if I could speak, uh, I could hear that they were roboting, so I knew that I'd be roboting. It's
Yeah.
so annoying when that kind of stuff happens. But fortunately, internet is fixed. Like I can point at where I know the internet is, and the room, fortunately, is very close. So
Yeah. Well, you're in familiar stomping grounds. You've also, as I said that we were talking before, I found Planner Walk through our friend Matt Powell, because Matt Powell did a video about my transition, if everybody remembers that, and Planner Walk was one of the many people who responded to that. So yeah, it popped up in my feed, obviously, because I'm the person on Matt Powell's thumbnail in that video, though. I don't know if you know this, but that was just a short clip of a longer sermon that he had with my freaking face up there. It might still be up on Rumble or some crap like that, but a longer sermon where he talked about needing the government to execute the F words, and he had me up there on the screen the whole time. It was glorious. He's a terrible, terrible person. Yeah. But we're
yeah,
not here to talk about that today.
I will say that like back then when because I heard Creaky talking about the vile stuff that Matt Powell said, and the way that when I heard it, I was like, "Geez, I'm glad that Matt Powell is like just one person." But it turns out that there's a lot of people that are saying like similar stuff. Like, I recently have taken to calling, Ron DeSantis. I've
Mm-hmm.
taken to calling him Ron de Satan because I'm not a Christian, but he is the Antichrist.
Yeah, it's terrible. The things he's doing in Florida. The good thing that he's doing is keeping people uh, backing Trump, because I think that if Trump runs for is the Republican front runner again, I think that we're going to be okay, because Good grief. Who would vote for that man again?
Yeah.
They just need
Like
to steal the election.
American politics are just wild.
Yeah. It wasn't always like this. Maybe it was. I don't know. But we didn't always
I,
have this stop the steal kind of crap. But
yeah, well, there's been like times when it has been similar. Like I believe the 2000 election with Al Gore versus Bush,
yeah,
there was there was stop the count basically, and
the hanging chads. I
yeah, there
sure
were.
remember that. When they were recounting Florida votes. Florida. Yeah.
It's always Florida. Like, just like here's the thing we need to do. We need to just annex Florida from Earth.
Jettison
Like,
it.
shoot it into just shoot it into space or something.
Yeah, we got to jettison Florida. And you know where Florida's going to land if we jettison it? It's going to land on Mars, and they're going to take over this this Martian civilization. Just build right on the ruins of it. It'll be Mars. Will be New Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe I don't know if this guy's from Florida, but maybe he is, and he'll be able to just be on Mars to conduct the research.
I would not be surprised to find out that Alien Art TV or Art Alien TV is from Florida. But their whole channel, pretty much this whole channel is about Mars. About things on Mars. Look, Mars has giant veg on it, so it's the perfect place for your vegans.
Did you say veg or veg?
Veg. I think it's veg like vegetables. It could be vag and just be a typo, but but we got a few things that we can look through here. You got vines, giant vines spotted on Mars. You got UFOs spotted on Mars. So Mars has its own UFOs. My favorite on here are the statue. There, that kind of looks like a giant vag. That could be a giant vag. Oh,
Yeah,
there's some moon stuff on here, but we're gonna go for Mars. The moon has a vag. That's because the Earth is the daddy and the moon's the mommy. Oh, there's a car. Look. Oh, wow. I want to look at this one. Hold on.
I thought that the moon would be the daddy, seeing as that there's a man on the moon, but
Yeah.
like there's,
The moon. Well, but in Greek myth and stuff, the moon was feminine, wasn't it? Diana. Artemis.
Look, the moon is gender fluid.
Yeah, we'll call that the gender bender moon. It depends on the sway. Can you hear this?
Yep.
Okay, YouTubers, this is Joe from Artelian TV. Another interesting find for you today. Now, this is
Now-
going back to Sol 50.
Basically, there's a whole sub community of people on like Reddit and different forums that go through and they scrub through Mars lander footage, right? All the footage all over the place, and they look for something I would call pareidolia, but what they're gonna call artifacts and ruins and fossils and stuff. But this
Who
guy's
has time for that? Like, like here's the thing. Here's the thing that I never understood. You've got like these people that look at all the ISS stuff, right? And the question that I always ask is, how do you have enough time to go through all the ISS footage and find the one thing where there's something suspicious happening? Or one thing where you think that there's something suspicious, like a computer glitch or anything. Like, there are hours and hours of footage. There are several photos when it comes to, photos from the moon, photos from Mars, and to just sit there and look at it. Who has time for that?
they don't. He's not just looking; he's scrutinizing. This guy gets really deep into it. He's like, he's got to spend hours scrubbing through this. I'm sure people send him stuff too. Other people probably like, oh, check this frame out and whatnot. But I'm sure he does a lot of it himself too. But let's see what this car looks like.
19, and we have what looks like a car.
I'll tell you where
And
they
it's
all
not
are.
the first
too.
one. In fact, it's one of 3 or 4 found so far. I've got 2 others on my channel.
fossilized
one
traffic
from
jam.
2014 and one from about 2 years ago. Now, just let your eyes adjust to the luminosity a minute, because this is quite bright. You can actually see that this is a car. Now, I know it doesn't conform.
No, okay.
Can you see that there's a car? Go ahead.
No, I don't see a car. I see a dog wearing sunglasses.
I do. Let's see. The ear right here.
Yep.
And then the sunglasses. And then here's the snoot where you could boop him. I see the dog wearing a car.
Exactly.
Maybe it's the van from Dumb and Dumber, the dog van.
Potentially.
Yeah. With like the back hacked off, though. Because it's not long enough to be a full vehicle. This is the engine in front.
I can easily do. I just need to start up my own channel where it's like, and this is like a dog wearing sunglasses.
You could be like, yeah, this is a statue because they worshipped the Martian culture clearly worshipped dogs that wore sunglasses, dogs that
Exactly
that stood for lab safety. Maybe it's the lab safety dog.
Or exactly to cars that we have. It's quite small. I would say this is only 2 or 3 feet high, perhaps, but it is only partially visible. The bottom part of the car, like the front wheels, are buried down here.
So we know Martians invented the wheel too. What I like is, like, even if this is shaped like a car, like it was perfectly shaped like a car, still there's no windows. Do they see through rock? Or is this supposed to be fossilized glass?
Like, here's the thing, like, fossilization doesn't work how they expect it to. Like, what is this thing made out of, and why would all the metals be replaced with rock?
Yeah, why didn't it just rust and fall apart like metals do when they're oxidated and not turn to but no, they turn to stone, apparently.
Yeah, like, that's why like either a statue or even like just like, fuck it, we'll say that. Wait, can I spit on here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, fuck it. We're just gonna say that it's actually the head of a dog wearing sunglasses, you know, because it makes about as much sense.
Yeah, is the fossilized car.
So this goes into this actual sand here. It's quite curved, like a Volkswagen almost.
It's a Volkswagen.
And it doesn't look like a family car. It looks like the sort of car you would drive on your own.
It looks like a dog wearing sunglasses. I'm on board for that now. Now I can't unsee that either.
Quite small. A lot of this stuff, if there was a tsunami, would have been washed along here and deposited.
Now, I do find washes on Mars interesting. I will say that, or anything that looks like that there's traces of water within the timeline, but cars, yeah. And this was a Martian traffic jam. You know, it totally stands out there.
Well, here's what they were trying to do, right? You had the you see, they were going through climate change and the water levels were rising, and you know, they had finally sold their homes and moved, and they're in the process of moving, but the water just came and they were too late. The water got them.
Yeah. Well, they got stuck in the traffic jam, and they were using their fossil fuel cars that were causing the planet to warm up, and and the flood came and washed them away, and I'm with that. This is a green movement video. Thank you, Art Alien TV, for showing us the error of our way. We're gonna turn this planet around.
And then dried out, would have been covered in sedimentary mud and clay, and then it dried out and hardened and cracked, and that's what we have. So it's basically an encrusted car, which is kind of fossilized.
Oh, it's encrusted, like you know, like the fossilized boot that they have in the Creation Museum, where it's just encrusted with it. So that proves. that proves that fossilization happens like that too.
Clay. Now you could probably go up to this with a lump hammer and bash this off, and underneath you would find probably metallic material that the car was made.
He's answering your question. No, I didn't think he would. And he is. I hadn't watched this one. I was gonna. There's another one that I'm gonna watch, but I wanted to start when I saw this.
Made of. Okay, and we got some weird detail here. Now this it initially looks like a rock, but I think this.
What's up?
What? Okay, let's say that it is an encrusted car. Why would the rock that has, made the car all crusty? Why has that conformed to the shape of the car?
Yeah, but the rest of the landscape is just kind of lumpy. But this is the car. It's shaped to it. Even the back tire that was sticking off there, that was the dog's ear.
This is also wreckage here, because we got folded parts here, and then we got this weird part to it here. So a lot of this stuff is concrete, but a lot of it's actual metal wreckage from boats and ships, but also vehicles that were possibly.
It's a junkyard covered in mud.
There were probably roads and bridges going across the lake to get.
You think so? If there were roads and bridges, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, why is there they say that there's all this stuff that is fossilized? Why then is there no visible metal at all?
None of it sticking out. None of it broke through when it dried and started cracking. Nothing cracked off and revealed anything.
It's a Mount Sharp from the sort of dock area, and they were destroyed. And a lot of these concrete slabs are probably part of some kind of.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, but there were roads and bridges. They were made of stone, presumably. Those are completely gone though. But with the little metal car crusted in whatever sediment that's supposed to be, that's still there. But the stone roads and everything, that's all gone.
A road system, where there may have been roads going across here, and then they all kind of collapsed down, like a sort of raised structure, like a flyover structure, or something like that. There's loads of these, and they often appear, these long debris fields of concrete. They often appear in long straight lines.
It's common.
They go on for miles.
So, again, we can see the concrete apparently, but we can't see any of the metal that you'd expect to see. Like, what about skyscrapers? Where have they ended up? We've got
or dwellings in general. There's no structures. Well, we see all they have is vague statues.
Yeah, of dogs wearing sunglasses because.
Let's grab another one of these. See if because I think this is all about this car. There he goes. You draw the lines on it. It all makes sense. You just show Kent Hovind these lines on paper. He will see the back tire. Dog.
It's a dog. It's a dog here. I'm telling you. That is the worst drawing I've seen, by the way.
We're gonna do pyramids, domes, Mars, Forbidden City. You asked for the city, Planarwalk. Here it is. Here's the negative of it. It looks like a mountain, but it's a city. Domes. This music's a bit much.
Oh my god. Somebody tell the flat earthers stuck inside there that they're in a dome and that they're actually on a big globe.
And then, does this look like if you look at this picture, do you see anything suspicious about this dome? Or this? I don't get it.
Some of them look like they might house Creaky's head, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's possible too. Here we go. Where's the pyramid? Oh, there we go. There's something like this in Antarctica that they trip out about. Oh, look at this. It's got, is that letters on it? We should convince this guy that that's letters on it. V Z Y, and then an L down here. It's a secret message. We need to decipher it. We need to decode the alien language. All right, I'll let you pick the next one. We got, let's see, Mars droid discovered, Mars giant sphinx, Mars spikes, wall of spikes, ramp, and pyramid structure, a Mars bookshelf from IKEA.
Mars City found.
Ooh, part 1 and 2. There we go. That sounds like it's going to be fun.
That looks like the one that might convince me. It's got a good thumbnail, so we'll see.
It's got a good thumbnail.
Okay, YouTubers, this is Joe from Art Alien TV. Now today I've got a really interesting thing to show you, or area to show you, on Mars. And it's a place called Kings Valley, okay? And this, to me, looks like a city, or partially buried city. And it's not one of my finds. This was spotted by Greg Orm, I should say, with an M, Greg Orm, and was posted on Mars X-Files a couple of days ago. I often post stuff on here. And
yeah, they have their own
adjudicate this.
They have their own forums and all kinds of. There's like a whole subculture of these people looking into this stuff. Now, this reminds me of back. Remember the old? Maybe you're too young. There used to be this thing about canals on Mars that was sold as the notion that there was an ancient Martian civilization, and this seems like it's going to be something along those lines.
Yeah, it's. I'm looking at it and it's like, what is the scale there? If we look up ESP
065 269 _ 1695.
Okay, hopefully I have. Okay. So I'm looking this up, and we have. Hopefully, this image that I found has some kind of scale. Polygon, but University of Arizona might give us some info.
Yeah.
So this is it.
Pull us a little bit better.
So it says polygons are interesting features on Mars, though sometimes only visible in high-resolution images, like those taken by HiRISE. They often form due to contraction and expansion of ice under the surface. These polygons in Elysium Planitia and to the east Apollinaris Patera are usually well preserved, and so we can take a more detailed look at their textures with this observation. And it says date 29th of June 2020, altitude 264 kilometers. So that's probably a decent size of given that it's from 264 Ks.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think this is like an impact crater maybe here. It could be a dead volcano, but
yeah, it's
if it was a dead volcano, that would explain some of the structures. But go ahead.
It says here, black and white is less than 5 kilometers across. Enhanced color is less than 1 kilometers. For full observation details, visit the ID link. And if I go to here, so can we get a objects 162 centimeters across are resolved. 50 centimeter per pixel and north is up. Okay, so
this is
half a meter per pixel.
okay. Half meter per pixel. Well, that's smaller, or it's closer than I thought it was going to be. But let's hear what they claim about it.
Site and loads of other Mars sites. Obviously, I probably helped manage about 10 or 15. I think now, maybe even 20. I've lost count. A good one. This very similar to Mars Magazine, and this is Greg's post. And what he's found here, to me, looks like a city. Just here, and you can flick through these. There'll be a link to this original post.
To me, it looks awful organic to be a city, but like natural flow of the polygons and things.
The description, the Facebook post here, and what I've done also is I've linked to it in these gigapans that I've done. These got some nice clips here showing some of these details. But what I've done is I've got the original MRO images from NASA, and here's the page. Now there's two of these. If you click on this, you can get the stereo pair. There's two of them.
Oh, that's the page.
There's one which is the left camera. One's the.
This where you found, or the one you found?
Yeah, the University of Arizona.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the original image scaling range here, and I'm just wondering what the size of the. I think I've got a different one, maybe.
So yeah, this is the official University of Arizona acquisition, the 22nd of May. You want me to read the number off again?
Oh yeah, I've got the exact same one, so we're good.
Oh, okay.
I am wondering
what the width of these roads are, or roads.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the full image size is, if it has that on here somewhere. Because then we can work out what size the roads are. The roads may end up being a normal size as you'd expect from a road, but then they also may not be, which is what I want to find out.
Yeah, so if it's 1 pixel per meter on this one, well, these are
half a pixel.
Half a pixel per meter.
Oh, no, half a meter per pixel, sorry.
Half a meter per pixel, so every 2 pixels is 1 meter. I can't even begin to speculate, but it seems like these would be a lot wider than roads, that they would be a few dozen meters wide. But I guess some roads can be that wide though, like big interstates and things like that.
The right camera, okay? So there's a kind of stereo pair looking at this whole area, and what you can do is flick between them. Now what I've done, I've got a raw one here. Now this is 64781. This is raw, as it comes from NASA. This is the MRGB, okay? And merged red, green and blue, that means. And what we have here is a strip of colour in the middle, and the rest of it's black and white, okay? But I've also got the red version, which is kind of like monochrome, but this doesn't have the colour strip, so you can see the whole thing here. What I've done, I've enhanced this, and I've cranked up the contrast by about 100%, as it says here.
So this isn't how it looks
100%
naturally.
contrast. So what it does, it brings out the shape.
He's jacked up the contrast to bring out those the grooves, I guess, in the structure around this crater.
Yeah. I'm looking at, if I count the pixels here, just one random road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's about 4 meters across the roads. But then another thing.
That's not a spec,
can I ask you? What?
That wouldn't be 4 meters across. Wouldn't be outlandish for a road.
Yeah, especially given that the cars are apparently smaller, or the roads could be for dog statues. Who knows?
Dog statues.
But if I present the window, and I'm just share the paint window. Mm-hmm. So this is the image So if everyone can see that,
Yep, we can see.
this is the image here, the full image. Now, you have to really be looking at this to, like, it's this particular place here that they cut out. Because when you get over here, it doesn't really, like, the same kind of thing is going on further up over here, right? But it doesn't look as city-like as if you go down here. That looks closer to how we do our cities. But even then, like, there are some weird things going on, like down here. Like, I don't get, what is that meant to be? What is?
Did the city melt? Is what I would ask. It looks like the city would have melted if this was a city.
Yeah, and not only that. So you expect me to believe that we've got this entire city here. What was the purpose? Was it high-rise buildings? Because, you know, was it like suburban? Yeah, suburban kind of living. Because why did the streets survive, but none of the buildings survive?
Yeah, what sort of cataclysm caused that, right?
Yeah. Like, makes no sense whatsoever to me.
So someone has to, I mean, it's like you were saying earlier, somebody had to go through, like, somebody has to scrub through these images with a fine-tooth comb to find that sort of stuff, right? Someone had to be really, really dedicated to looking for patterns on the images. Yeah, it is interesting though. It's a cool looking section of that they've pulled out here. But, you know,
yeah, it does look cool. But like, you can probably do this with I don't know. Let me just bring up another random image.
Yeah,
there we go. We're going to bring up some images from here. Let's get. Hold on, I just need to get an aerial view of something. Forgotten how aerial is spelled. There we go. Aerial view. Okay, search. Okay, okay, that does not want to. Let's just. Yeah, there we go. Here we go. Copy image, and let's paste it in here. I guess there used to be like some kind of thing that built a civilization, because these look like roads.
Yeah, just the cracked surface of the desert, cracks and patterns, and then
salt flat.
Is it the salt flat? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you can do this with anything. Just because you've found something that looks like a pattern that could be, you know, construed a specific way doesn't mean that it necessarily is. Like, you could say that these roads, you know, used to be like miniature highways and or motorways, and they sort of led off into these
little
smaller
communities.
Yeah.
Shopping
because they built their
centers.
communities underground or whatever. You can do this for anything. The problem is that just because you can say something doesn't mean that's how it actually is. It's the same kind of people that look at trees, or not trees, look at the Devil's Tower and claim that because it looks like a tree stump, therefore it must be a tree stump. No, it's not. It just wouldn't work if it, like, as a tree, it just wouldn't work as a tree.
Or like the Giant's Causeway in Ireland. Oh, that had to be built because they're polygons. No, that just happens naturally. That's the world we live in. Physics works the same on all levels, and sometimes it works to our benefits, knowing how. because if you look at our highway systems, they're the same. It's pretty much the same way as like river systems, right? So there's ways to formulate things that they're naturally that'll look unnatural.
And you can see the details on the ground better and clearer because it brings out more definition in the shadows and shapes on the ground. Okay. Now first, we'll take a look at this one. Now this is unenhanced. This is as it comes from NASA, and in fact, this is pretty good already. You can see a lot of detail here. That's
actually where you zoomed in at to say that it looks weird, because that does look weird. What is this? What is this? What is he saying that it is? Is he saying this is like some terracine or something? This isn't roads. It doesn't look like roads.
And if you use the hover zoom magnifier, you can see here that there are what seem to be roads and raised walls and lots of interesting details in here, right? And when you look at the whole thing, this goes over a massive area. I mean, I think this represents about 5 kilometers in width, this actual image. Yeah, I think it does represent exactly 5 kilometers.
But it stops looking so much, but like you said, it stops looking so much like roads once you get out away from that area around the crater, which makes me wonder if there's, again, a volcano there that's causing the change in the geology.
Also, like, building roads in that kind of fashion, like they're proposing there, would be horribly inefficient if you're wanting to maximize, the throughput of transportation.
Right.
Because, like, have you seen those places over in, like, America? There's places in America where to get from one place to another place, even though it's like 10 meters away, it's like half an hour driving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got to like drive all the way up this way and then take the roundabout and come back down. And then you can pull into here and take an off-road or whatever. Yeah. That's pretty much everywhere here. It sucks.
Yeah.
But keep us buying petrol, though, right?
Yeah, so, like, I suppose, like, since a supposed civilization has been wiped out, maybe they were about as stupid as us. But you'd think that there'd be at least some places where they, maximize throughput.
Yeah. Yep, got people saying Providence, Rhode Island's like that. Florida has a lot of roads like that. Of course, Florida. Where else but Florida, right?
Yeah. Here's okay. This is what I'm going to do to give us all hope. What he's found is he's found the remains of Florida. Now, how did this happen? Well, you see, when we just jettisoned Florida into space, it just traveled through a wormhole, taking it back into the past. And it crash landed on Mars, and what we're looking at is the remains of Florida because they just couldn't figure out how to survive on Mars.
The Planet of the Apes plot, yes.
Yeah, basically.
Wormhole sent them back in time. So this is Florida sent back in time, and maybe landed face down because that tends to happen. But every time I flip my Florida, it always lands face down.
This part of this, what I think is a city here, covers most of it, this part here, and it probably goes further over to the right, but the image doesn't go that far. About 4 kilometers across from this mound here, across to this thing here, and then right across here to the edge of the image here, okay? Now, this is insane, and it's almost impossible for me to know where to start.
So, if you look out here, these start to break up and get more irregular as you move out, right? There's no more connected parts once you get up into here. They're just little ridges and things. So,
with this, because there's so
it does look very much like the Scablands.
Also,
go ahead.
Also, another thing that I've noticed is it looks like the sun is coming from the left side.
Mm-hmm.
and shining to the right. So the roads, if that is true, then the supposed roads seem to be generally more raised than the rest. Although it might just because I can't see how
they look more like ridges, right, than they do roads. To me,
yeah, like edge. Remember when I brought up the salt flat thing?
yeah.
Because those things are raised,
Mm-hmm.
just like the roads would be here. They'd be raised, and the thing is, they don't look particularly. Hold on, I'm just gonna let's undo pasting that. They don't look like some of them do look smooth, but a lot of them look like they have harsh kind of edges, at least compared to. So they don't look very much like roads, even.
Yeah, they to me look like ridges, and then ridges that maybe again I was calling this a volcano, but the more I look at it, the less I think that's a volcano, and more like it's just a raised like plateau.
Yeah, apparently it's just ice.
Very much to
Ice
see.
caused.
But what
Ice caused. All of this
Yeah,
looks
at
ice
least-
caused to me, and this looks like glacier, the result of glaciers, right?
I'll do,
Oh,
we'll have a
yeah.
look.
I like
Imagine
the
something
idea of
like this on
Martian
Earth.
glaciers, but what's that?
Imagine finding something like this in a glacier on Earth. This guy would have a field day, or potentially Roger from Mud Fossil University would have a field day.
These are Mars skin cells that we're looking at because Mars is alive. Mars is the female and Earth is the male now, and the moon's their baby.
I mean, you can
Look at
make a
this
better
one.
argument for them being cells, like you know, or like scales, like because that kind of looks scaly, you know.
Yeah,
It's like a dragon.
it's like the close up of the dragon's scales on its arm or something.
Actually, no,
Which is the
it cells from a giant dog,
Wearing
and that
sunglasses,
dog wore sunglasses.
and they made a statue to commemorate him. Yes.
enhanced version, the red one. Now this is a stereo pair with that previous one, so you can actually see if you line them up. I've marked this area here. If you line them up, you can actually line them up on here. Although one will.
I think we've beaten this one to death. It doesn't seem like he does too much. Looks at too much more of it. Let's see. I'm gonna get
I mean,
start
I
squeeze-
can't.
Oh.
Don't mind.
Oh, why is it close player? I don't like that auto player. If you're not subscribed, it annoys me. Let's pick one more before I have to let you go. There was.
I mean, we could. Oh, here's one. The giant vines that I saw. What was that
The
about?
vines? This one? Yeah, let's look into
Yeah.
that.
This is like Mud Fossil University territory.
Okay, YouTubers, this is Joe from Art Alien TV. Now today I've got a bunch of interesting images to show you. I'm not going to show you all of these now because this will take way too long. I'm just going to concentrate on a couple of these. Now if you follow the links in the description, there'll be links to these gigapans here, these top 5 here
Gigapans.
on my Gigamacro site, right? So you can either follow the main link or individual links to these, right? But these are the ones to look at, the ones at the top here, the top 5. And I've got a couple of these already lined up for you. Now, basically, this is insane. Now, what I think these may be are giant vine plants on the surface of Mars, right? Now, this gets interesting because
This one looks so much like that salt flat picture you just showed a minute ago that it ain't even funny.
Yeah.
depending on which ones you look at, sometimes they don't look like plants, sometimes they look more like cracks in the ground, and depending on which colour images you pick.
No self-awareness, right?
Yeah.
They can't be cracks in the ground because that's what they look like. That'd be too obvious. The Martian's gotta hide it.
Whether they're in
It's
colour
like-
or whether they're...
It's just like, oh yeah, like it depends what one you're looking at as to whether they reinforce our beliefs. But like, we're not just going to go with the simplest explanation. We're just got.
If you look at it this way and squint really hard, though.
Infrared and blue or black and white, they can look quite different, okay, depending on which ones you pick. This is why here I've got RGB, which is very red. This is the RGB version, and this is the infrared, red and blue version. Now the infrared, red and blue version is much closer to what the actual colour is. It's not exact, but it's way closer than the RGB. The RGB, for some reason, has quite a heavy...
What is... Did you say infra blue?
I thought you said infrared, but like, here's the thing: these aren't vines that we're looking at. They're cherries.
Cherries?
Right? Yeah, because he's been cherry picking this to match what he believes. Like, firstly, like the infrared looks more like what we'd expect to see than RGB. Like, okay, sure. Like, you could, when it comes to RGB or photos taken, or any photo taken, there is a certain sort of, how do I put it? There's like balancing of different colors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you've ever taken a photo, or I could actually, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, I could change the settings on my camera. I could change it to be more saturated. I could change the exposure. I could change the gain on how bright it is.
Saturation, hue, yeah.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. And those varying levels can affect how an image is presented. But RGB is what you're wanting to manipulate to get any semblance of how it should actually look. If you have something like infrared, that is not a part of this. That is not a part of the electromagnetic spectrum that we can see. So it is going to look very different. Like, have you seen UV light or UV?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
things?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that looks nothing like what things actually look like.
Yeah. When you do RGB is what you want and where you're going to want to work. And you go infrared, you're just isolating the R spectrum of the RGB and isolating that out and taking everything else off the table. That's not going to help enhance your image to something that's reasonable to look at and try to see what it looks like in real life.
Well, not even that. Infrared is further along than even red. Like, you're just completely off the visible spectrum at this point. You know?
Yeah, the only parts that we're going to be able to see are what falls into our red spectrum. The infrared parts of it, yeah. If you move it, yeah. Same thing if you want ultraviolet. That's the opposite direction. A whole other spectrums of light that we can't even detect.
The red filter on it. You can see part of that filter at the top here. Okay, and this one seems to be a lot more natural looking.
Hold on.
And is the sort of typical...
If we go back a few seconds, I just want to check something there. Because... Yeah, is that the RGB one?
Yep.
Okay, so we want to search ESP underscore
073570 underscore 0930.
Hold on, I missed a few things. 3570
underscore 0930 underscore RGB.
RGB. Because I have an idea that might... Okay. Oh, yeah, there we go. We got the exact thing that we're looking for. The gigapans. Oh, jeez. There's like thousands of these images. And to find the particular image.
Let's look if there's anything else he's got listed on here to help us pin it down.
Oh wait, what? Hold on. What is this? I'm just gonna screen share for a second.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
gotcha.
Let me. Where is this? Where is the screen share? Present. Share screen. Window, and we're gonna just share this. Right. So, what is this?
Is that like in the Oort cloud?
It's
a galaxy?
yeah. They say cosmic cliffs.
Mm-hmm.
What do they think it is? Do they think this is actually like actual cliffs?
That's the edge of the flat universe. You can't go past that. There's penguins guarding the edge of the flat universe. Space penguins.
Okay. Okay, maybe because
What are they saying it is? What is the claim?
oh yeah, they say so. They say that the says something about the faint steam that appears for what?
Embedded in the dust.
Yeah, like it seems like they could. I'm not sure what they're saying about it, but it could be like either way. I'm just wondering where to find the thing that they're talking about because, like, look at this. I am only halfway down the page. Like they have so.
I think it said 813. Does that help? Is there a nav to the image? Are these images numbered?
So, what is the thing? 813.
It was 813. I think when he was on his.
No, that doesn't come up. Wait, what's the name of?
Oh, 813 images is what he's got. I've rewinded it back a little bit.
No, what was the name of? What was the name of the image? ESP underscore. Oh wait, I see it. 07 3 5. Okay, here we go.
There you go.
So we've got this here. So what was the? So this is the. Oh wait, no, this is the infrared one. So we want to go to there. We go RGB because I've got an idea about. Okay, can I? Okay, so up here we've got the we've got the red thing.
Yeah.
Do we have anything down here? No. Okay, that was a fun little journey.
What were we looking for? See if there was a different filter down there.
Yeah, this looks just mountainous when you go down here. Like, it looks
And you kind of get an idea those are ridges, right?
Yeah, like, how big is this? How? Because that's what I'm curious about. Like, oh, I think it got a clue from the size.
Oh yeah.
Because they said, yeah, 900-foot plants.
900-foot plants. Because those are the root systems of these giant plants, right?
Yeah. And they also say that the image... So, the image isn't even the original RGB. It's had 70% brightness and 10% contrast applied for better shape definition.
Oh yeah, everything he shows you is going to be contrasted to the max.
Yeah, so this isn't how it looks.
Yeah, if you contrast the ridges from the valleys between, if the difference between the stone and the dust that's settled in the valleys, if you contrast that, it's going to look like this, right?
Yeah.
So you got montane regions with ridges, and then valleys in between with settled dust, is what I see.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I see too. But like they've contrasted it up so much that, or they've applied so much brightness to it, like that all these areas here that these would be a lot darker, like 70% brightness. It makes it look almost like ice.
Yeah, anything that's white on there is not white.
Yeah, because it's going to. I forgot the term for it, but it's gonna,
so, this is a rare place where the scales aren't covering the body of the planet, and you can see the actual blood vessels and the capillaries underneath the skin.
Yeah. I've got to say, like the dishonesty here. I'm gonna stop sharing, but the dishonesty here on display is just mind-boggling to me. Because
it's like this is no enhancement, but then you look in there, it's like, oh, it's 70% brighter though. It's like, okay, into contrast, it's cranked up 10%. Well, that changes quite a bit.
Like, even okay. Now I will actually do the thing on my camera. That's if my camera has a contrast thing. So if I go properties, configure video, and okay, contrast is at 50%, right? Let me just bump it up. So it's 128. Let me bump it up to 140. Oh, I know. 153. Okay, not much of a difference there, but you can tell there's a difference. But now, if I up the brightness to, let's say, 70%.
Yeah, that's totally natural, right? That's how you actually look.
Yeah. And like,
oh, wow.
Like, this is just randomly. So the contrast doesn't play much of a role in comparison to the brightness, but like, that's just sliding the contrast through. But like, the brightness plays a big role in how things look. That's sliding the brightness along. Let me just set it back to 128 again. Can I see this? Are you telling me that I can't? Okay.
No, you have to stay like that for the rest of the stream.
There we go, 128. Actually, let's put me back to normal. Like, take the NASA filters off.
Yeah. So that we can see the alien that's underneath. Because you come from a side of the planet that doesn't even exist.
There we go.
There you go. There. See, that's what it's like when you talk to someone in New Zealand for real. It's like talking to Spider-Man. Well, I did say I would only keep you for about an hour, so I don't want to keep you from. You have some socializations to do and whatnot. Do you have anything to shill coming up, though?
I'm going to film a video on my bed. That's going to be my next video. It's going to be filmed on my bed. Just because here's the thing: YouTube tells me that 30% of my audience watch their video. Watch my videos from their bed, and so why. I'm going to join them by recording my videos in my bed.
I didn't know it would tell you whether the people watched it in your bed. I just now got my channel monetized like 2 months ago. So it's been, I'm learning all the new stuff. So you can tell where you're viewers watch your stuff from?
Yes, although you do have to have the NASA plugins to.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to get my NASA plugins at some point. Yeah, and to the Hive, everybody out there, if you aren't subscribed to Planarwalk, go check them out. It's always a fun time over there.
Yeah, my next video is going to be looking at dearth.
Dearth?
Yeah, deep inside the rabbit hole, flat earther.
Oh.
I was like, okay, what's a video to debunk? And I found a video that I can't debunk, so that's going to be a fun time. And the reason why I can't debunk it isn't because it's correct. It's because it doesn't say anything.
It's like you're not even wrong.
Yeah, like it's just like I barely paid attention, but it's like some text on screen saying the sun's not 93 million or what miles away. And it's like, it is. But that's like all I can say about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to replace the music that he put in there because it's like he uses copyrighted music. And I'm going to just play it with the Flat Smacked tune that I made over a year ago.
Flat Smacked tune. Yes. Go check that out too.
You go to my channel and if you type in the music of Flat Earth, I think it is, you should be able to find it. And it's a half-hour video, and one of the tracks on there is Flat Smacked, and that is the derpiest tune I've ever made.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Planarwalk has a little keyboard that they sometimes write little jams for us on. So that's the thing you don't get here in the Hive.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will guess we will call it a show here. Really do appreciate you for swinging by. Sorry about the scheduling conflict thing. That was all on me. I usually mess up the schedule. I usually end up doing that at some point in time. So I'm so happy it had to happen to you. But I'm glad you were able to get in here for just a little bit to hang out with me tonight. Thank you everybody watching this in the chat live. We do appreciate you. I do want each and every one of you to remember to be kind, take care, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.